Hello again. So now we have some triangle congruence problems involving a little bit of algebra in them. In this case, in problem 6, we're given that triangle UVW is congruent to triangle TSR. And it wants us to find the values of x, y, and z. Okay? Well, let's look at the side with x first. This 12x minus 7, which is what VU is. So, or UV. UV would be congruent to, based on this congruent statement, the side TS. And if I substitute each value that's given to us, I know that UV is 12x minus 7, and that's going to be equal to the value of TS, which is 53. Adding 7 on both sides, we have that 12x is equal to 60, and therefore we have that x is equal to 5. Not too bad. So let's move on to solve for y. Alright, well, the expression that has y in it would be the length of rs. So we have rs, and that would be congruent with, well, rs matches up with the last two letters WV. So we have that these two sides are the same, and therefore WV, and we just substitute in our values. So 5y minus 33 is equal to 57. Adding 33 on both sides, we get that 5y is equal to 90, and that y is equal to 18. Lastly, the side with a z is WU, which would be congruent. WU is congruent with RT. Substitute in for both sides. So we have 3z plus 14 is equal to RT, which is 50. Subtract 14 on both sides. We have that 3z is equal to 36. And if we divide by 3, we discover that z is equal to 12. So that first problem is done. It doesn't seem so bad. Let's try the next one. So, triangle PHS is congruent to triangle CNF. So let's find the values of x, y, and z. So notice we're with angles this time. So I note that the angle, the measure, or I should just say angle H, has the x value in it. And in this case, H is congruent with N. And substituting out each value, we have that 6x minus 29 is equal to 115. So let's add 29 on both sides. And we get 6x equals 144. And therefore, dividing by 6, we get that x is equal to 24. Alright, now let's look at the expression with y in it. That's the angle at F, which would be congruent with the angle S. Again, substitute each value. We have 3y minus 1 equals angle S, which, angle S isn't explicitly given to us. So what can we do? Well, we know what x is, so what I could do is find out what angle H is, the measure of angle H. So that's 6x minus 29. But in reality, we know that x is 24. So this is 6 times 24 minus 29. Now, 6 times 24 is 144. Minus the 29 gives us 115. So that's the measure of angle H. So to find out what the angle at S is, we have to do 180 minus 115 minus the other angle, 36. And that will get us the measure of angle S. And after completing all the subtraction, 180 minus 115 minus 36, we get that the measure of angle S is 29 degrees. So we have that 3y minus 1 is equal to angle S, which is 29 degrees. Adding 1 on both sides, we have that 3y is equal to 30, and y is equal to 10. Finally, the angle with z in it, which is angle C. That's going to be congruent. C is going to be congruent with the angle at P. So substitute in, we have 4z minus 32 is equal to the measure of angle P, which is 36. Add 32 on both sides to get that 4z is equal to 68, which means that z is equal to 17. So even when it involves some algebra, we're just using the same techniques we've been learning throughout the year.